Exactly 2 minutes past 9, you're still watching Smart Means Business. I'm Andrew Bariji, and of course, heading into our last hour of the show. Many thanks for joining us all the way. We started at 7 a.m. and now we're into our business insight. Like I told you, today the biggest discussion is in line with how industries can leverage e-commerce for profitability. And of course, if we are looking at growing this country's economy from a $50 billion economy to $500 billion, and taking a look at our participation in the African Continental Free Trade Area and what is going to bridge this reality, of course, there is the element of information communication technology, where e-commerce is actually part of these insights that we are going to be breaking. Now, as we navigate rapidly the evolving digital landscape, East Africa's e-commerce market is experiencing unprecedented growth. And taking a look at Uganda in particular is poised for significant expansion, with her penetration expected to reach 29.1% by next year. And of course, on that, still to remind you that there is a target of at least the e-commerce market to be worth $2.5 billion in the coming times. Now, despite the challenges such as expensive data and digital gadgets, Kampala has emerged as a prime spot for e-commerce. But what drives this growth, and how can industries really, like agriculture, leverage in, of course, transitioning to these markets? So my guest this morning is going to be really addressing such a very key, important aspects. A very good morning.
Good morning to you, Mr. Bariji.
And nice to have you today, this morning.
I'm honored to be in this studio this morning.
Okay, very wonderful. And, you have very amazing, interesting revelations when it comes to industries embracing e-commerce. But of course, before we get into the nitty-gritties and all these details and depths, let's try to build it from scratch to simplify it for our viewers. What is e-commerce?
All right, thank you. My name is Sarah Mpulire.
Yes, Sarah.
I work with MTAC Nakawa.
Yes.
Today, we are talking e-commerce.
Yeah.
And our people need to know and understand what e-commerce is.
Exactly.
E-commerce, in simple terms, is about the selling and buying of goods and services.
Yes.
Over the internet, using the internet. And therefore, if you have to buy and sell products and services over the internet,
yes,
you must understand how to use this internet.
Okay.
So along the way,
yes,
when we talk about e-commerce, we must talk about internet usage.
Internet usage.
And
yes, interesting.
Digitalization.
Yes.
Yes, please.
I request my producer to give us some of the key statistics here about the internet penetration in Uganda, because like our guest has mentioned, it's quite key and important to understand all these. Well, as we wait for those figures to be put in there, Madam, according to the East Africa trademark in 2020, there was a sample, they sampled online purchases in Uganda. The sampled online purchases in Uganda were at least at 91%, 86% in Kenya, taking a look at 81%, that was in Tanzania, and Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, all tied at 50%.
Yes.
What makes Kampala the prime spot of economic, amidst economic challenges such as expensive data and digital gadgets?
Kampala is amidst a country that is having a growing economy.
Economy, yes.
You see, the oil sector in Uganda is growing so fast.
Yeah, very true.
If I can use the word rapidly growing. But we also have private investments in Kampala that contribute to this rapid growth of Uganda's economy. And like while you were starting, you mentioned agriculture.
Exactly.
Is at the helm of it.
Yes.
So this makes Kampala a prime spot for e-commerce.
E-commerce.
Also, when you look at the smartphones and the smart gadgets network in Kampala,
The penetration.
Almost everyone here
has a
smartphone.
Exactly. Very
now,
true.
what are we using these smartphones for? We have internet. This internet is really affordable and readily available.
True.
It is provided by MTN, Airtel, and it is 4G. It means it is very fast.
And now we are rolling out 5G, rolling in 5G, so it makes it so, the experience quite so interesting.
So interesting.
Yeah.
So we have this improved internet penetration, we have the gadgets, and so we are already doing e-commerce.
E-commerce.
Yes.
Okay, proceed. I had a question.
I also wanted to mention easy access to internet, maybe using the internet cafes. You can walk into any internet cafe in Kampala, even if you don't want to use your gadget, and you can get affordable internet, relatively cheaper. Maybe the other issue is about IT training programs. Kampala has a number of universities around. If we could look at Utamu, for instance.
Exactly.
Utamu is a technological management institution.
Yes.
It is handling these IT issues very well, but also other institutions around. Makerere University.
Makerere University, yeah.
MTAC, which I work for.
Yes, they've been vital.
Yes, we are vital into pushing these IT and business programs. So I imagine that we are a prime spot for e-commerce because of a number of reasons, some of which are those I've mentioned.
You've mentioned.
Yes, please.
Sarah, if I may ask you, taking a look at the current state of this economy, because even as much as we had the most online purchases,
yes,
it's discovered that most of these purchases actually were people shopping from abroad, but it was less of people shopping from within the local market. So it seems like people are more comfortable moving out there, interact with the customers, because people have even discovered that what they actually see online is not actually what they receive. So how do we see this penetration really being embraced as, because not, you know, when you go downtown, for example, today, to Chikubu, and you speak to so many of those people that are purchasing, and you tell them about purchasing online, it sounds like it is something that they are okay, even not knowing it. They are okay. Whether they have it or they don't have it, they're okay.
But because we are used to being in our comfort zones, we are not being so much innovative to see that actually we don't need to waste a lot of time running physically to these shops, crowded places. If you could walk to Chikubo now, especially around the time when students are going back to school. It is very, very crowded, very crowded. You risk losing your money, you risk being pushed away, you risk a lot.
A lot.
And you risk wasting a lot of time there. But if you order for products from Chikubo, like using Chikubo online, these goods can be delivered to wherever you are.
To wherever you are.
Safely and in better shape.
Okay.
Yes, please.
But you see, even when we talk about the aspect of online, it doesn't rule out the fact that you need to have a physical address in terms of, let me say, store where you put your commodities.
Yes, please.
And so it's still kind of, because sometimes the purpose of this address is in case of any problem with the goods delivered, I have where to report. So in that regard, still somebody would feel like they would prefer visiting the shop face to face, because we can't eliminate the aspect of online. So how would you advise now the people? Now we are talking about now the consumers, because there is all this perception that what I see is not what I get.
I would love to demystify that. What I know is these traders, the online traders, have addresses online.
Online.
You can log on to these addresses. You can comfortably order for goods.
Yes.
You can do anything on these online addresses. You can give them feedback. You can tell them that actually the goods that I ordered for are not the very goods I'm
getting.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is as easy as that. But what I know is that people want to keep in their comfort zones. They don't want to run around and do something new. But it is high time we thought about this online commerce.
The electronic commerce.
Yes.
Interesting. Now, with Uganda users penetration expected to hit 21.9%,
yes.
that is by next year.
Yes.
Which markets or industries have been most outstanding in your view?
Wow. I'll start with the tourism industry.
Tourism, yes.
You see, this tourism industry has hospitality, travel, and tours.
Tours, exactly. Yeah.
So all those operators, of late, they are in the outstanding market.
True.
I have seen something online this week, at the beginning of this week.
Yeah.
They were talking about open park days.
Open park days.
Yes. You can drive into these parks free of charge. And how is it being marketed? Online.
Online.
Over the internet.
Okay.
So they're going to have to increase on the tourists in the parks. But even those travel and tours are also going to take us there. And so they're also making sense in this regard. But you also look at the hotels.
Yes.
People who are going to have to go for these open park days will have to need accommodation.
Exactly.
This particular industry, tourism, is doing well. It is one of the outstanding markets in Kampala today. But I can give you one more.
It's okay.
Or two more.
Yeah.
Another one is the agriculture industry.
Agriculture, yes. Today,
coffee is an issue.
It's a big discussion.
A big discussion.
Yeah.
Everywhere you hear coffee, coffee, coffee. It's not only coffee. We have others. We have tea, we have cotton, and many others. Yes. But one thing about this agriculture is, agriculture, one, is the backbone of this economy.
Yeah.
And so everything around agriculture has been improved to some level of convenience.
Convenience.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I also talk about maybe the construction?
The construction industry.
Yes, the construction industry in Kampala. The real estate, and we're seeing a lot of real estate management and development.
Yes.
But we are also looking at construction materials.
Construction materials. Okay.
Those in supply of construction materials are working.
Okay.
The building materials, the sand,
They are promoting all what they're doing.
Online.
Online.
You don't need to look for sand physically, wherever it is. Just go online. You'll find people who are making pavers. You'll find people who are, this construction industry is also doing very well.
Now, Sarah, this brings me to a very, we started by you explaining what e-commerce is. Most times when you mention e-commerce, what comes in people's minds is Jumia, Alibaba, which other famous, I think those are the ones that are outstanding
that
in
are
Africa.
here.
Yeah.
We have global ones, but we have Jumia here and Alibaba and Uganda, Gigi,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where they sell used up.
Yes, there's even where they sell electronics, something like that.
So, now, when we say that people should embrace commerce, which other element is embedded here? For example, like I said, when you mentioned, somebody will think that I need to have something like Jumia for me to be online. I need to have perhaps an e-commerce platform built on my own. In which other ways can they really be, can they do e-commerce still using online related services? In other words, like, is promoting my stuff on Facebook still e-commerce? Is promoting my stuff on WhatsApp status, is that still e-commerce? Perhaps some are doing it unknowingly.
Yes. I think a number of us are doing it unknowingly.
Okay.
Because like the one I talked about the park drives, is all over on WhatsApp.
Exactly.
So you can use WhatsApp to do electronic commerce to market your products. But there's another one, TikTok.
Exactly.
this TikTok is meant for big and better things. We can use it to market our products and services.
But it's not utilized well here?
My thinking is we are using it for a number of things that may not necessarily benefit very many people. But on a better note, we can improve.
We can improve.
Yes.
And I agree with you 100%.
Yes, we can improve. Yeah.
And sometimes I'm very mad about the misuse
of
these platforms.
Of these platforms, and we use them for things that do not benefit us.
Okay.
Yet they are meant for big and better things.
Very true.
Yes.
Now, how can sectors such as agriculture be best positioned to leverage? I think we've looked into this. We've mentioned that. Now, regionally, e-commerce user penetration is expected to hit 37.1%, and before the end of this year. Are there lessons to borrow from regional markets like Kigali, Bujumbura, Dar es Salaam that actually rank low but with better internet and digital freedom?
Yeah, I believe there are lessons we can learn from there. For instance, I have realized that in Rwanda, they have invested not only in urban internet infrastructure, but countrywide internet infrastructure. Countrywide. Yes. We can learn from that. It's an experience. When we look at internet, normally in Uganda here, we are thinking of the elite class, the owners of these other smart gadgets who can afford internet, put it on the smart cameras, put it on the smart TVs, have it on the smartphones. But this internet can as well help someone who is in the rural setup, has products to sell, or has a service to offer. That can easily be marketed online. Rwanda still, I have, I understand they have
trying to upgrade their digital industry.
Yes, their digital industry. They've partnered with organizations like Big Win Philanthropy.
Yes.
This Big Win Philanthropy is supposed to train teachers, but also students. In this case, Rwanda looks at having 10,000 teachers trained in 2024. And around 80,000 students trained.
In the digital?
To access, to be able to access the digital platforms in IT skills. So this will help the country to improve that particular area. You also mentioned Tanzania.
Tanzania.
Talking Tanzania, Tanzania has promoted local content platforms. If you can do Kiswahili in that area, you can, and I know in Uganda here, we all don't speak English.
Of course, Luganda is...
Luganda is spoken widely.
Widely.
Yes, we can promote production of local content using Luganda. Yes.
That thing. Somebody told me, have you ever seen a Luganda website? And I told him, yes, and he laughed. So to me, I'm thinking now, with this mindset, how are we going to push? Because it sounds, someone looks at it like awkward to promote something using Luganda online. But
this Luganda is understood by almost very many people, which may not be the case with English. English, we are looking at the elite. But this e-commerce, we are looking at having everyone who has a service to sell and a product to sell or buy getting engaged.
Very interesting. And Sarah, don't you think as we're heading here, because according to what I see today, there's a lot of website development. Almost every business now is establishing a website, and all this. Don't you think this is going to create too much, there's going to be a lot of competition. And some of the traders, it's part of the worries. When I meet some of them, they tell me, now everyone is promoting everything online. Now, who is going to even notice me? So what advice do you give to that trader to really catch up with this competition? So many businesses now online.
They just have to be very innovative.
Okay, how?
And try to even look at your competitor. You know, when you monitor what your competitor is doing, you're able to move. But if you stay in your comfort zone, you will not. Be very, very innovative. Look at what the customer wants. Maybe you need to package it the way the customer wants.
It.
Yes, but also look at things like timely delivery of products.
Timely delivery.
Yes. Also look at things like value for money.
Okay.
If I am giving you my money, whatever product you're giving me should fit into that.
Okay.
You know, people need quality.
Quality, absolutely. I mean,
yes.
What I see is what I want.
Yes.
What I'm saying is what I want.
What I want is this, and I've in particular put it right that this is what I want. So give me what I want. When I talk about timely delivery of products, at that particular time when I need it is when I should get it.
Okay.
And in the shape that I want
it.
You know, you don't need to deliver something from Chikubo, bring it when it rains, carry
packaging materials gets wet.
Yes, and you come around and say, this is what it is. Yeah. Or if I ordered something from Cafe Javas, bring it in good shape.
Good shape.
But also on time. If this was my lunch, deliver it at lunchtime.
At lunchtime.
Don't deliver it later when I'm doing other things.
I think that is vocal, and I think it's been part of the reasons why Ugandans, some of them fear to take a step to shop online.
Okay.
Timely delivery of products.
Of products, yeah.
Yes. Now, as we are heading into the break, what mileage does the online market add to the value, to revenue mobilization in the current frameworks? And how can transboundary transactions be tracked, considering developments such as the African continental free trade area?
You know, every business in Uganda, apart from when you've been exempted, contributes to revenue.
Absolutely.
They are taxed. Now, the tax bodies go ahead to tax even these online businesses.
Online businesses.
Yes. There's value-added tax and many others that can easily be explained by those tax collectors. But I assure you, every business here contributes to generating of revenue.
Revenue.
Yes.
Taxation.
Yes.
Amazing. All right, I'm still with Sarah Mpurire, is an entrepreneur, is an expert at MTAC, and we are breaking down how industries can actually leverage on e-commerce or electronic commerce. Let's take a break. Of course, I'm still returning as we still break down these matters.
Smart 24, driving business.
We all have that friend, always by your side for the big moments. Alina drama munji. And sometimes akuteka kupressure. But it's always there to celebrate your wins. Where would we be without our BFF?
This season, enjoy the best football moments with your hashtag BFFGoTV. Get GoTV today to enjoy all the best football live on Supersport. GoTV Uganda. Love it.
Abantu bangi bafiira mu bwenje buli wiiki batugamba basuba mu nsanvu oyagala okunnyonnyoka ekiviirako ekyo program vumbula ekidduka kyo
omuntu atudde munda those are safety belts kisinga emmotoka efuna obuzibu ofuna instant braking kati bw'oba ontudde mabega nze nsibye omusipi fe ab'emmaaso nze driver nenkola instant braking nga gwe tosibye ow'emabega olaba w'oyitawo n'otubuukira n'okuba omutwe mu ndabirwamu
omuntu yenna buli owulira nga emmotoka yeefunye enkenyera n'obuzibu tetambula bulungi etambula ekoona tesiba kibaka obuvunanyizibwa otwala emmotoka omuganja
buli lunaku olwa Sunday essaawa 7 okutuuka ssaawa 7:30 neddibwamu ku lunaku olwokusatu essaawa 4 okutuuka ssaawa 4:30 ez'ekiro nange omuweerezaawo Davis Joe Eddungu. Ku Smart 24 TV kwe tuli, ku DSTV tuli ku mukutu ogwa 372 ate ku GoTV ku 320. Program Vumbula ekidduka kyo.
Smart 24, driving business.
Exactly 30 minutes to the top of the hour. Just, of course, winding up this discussion. I'm still with Sarah Mpurire. He's an entrepreneur expert at MTAC. And the question is, how can industries actually leverage on e-commerce to enhance profitability? Before we went into the break, Sarah, we were talking about the aspect of cross-border transactions because some of the traders perhaps might look at these, like shifting to e-commerce, like a way of escaping taxes. And perhaps we know that government still on either way won't lose, because there is also that discussion of won't taxes be lost. Let's see how the government still stands a chance to gain, most especially when it comes to cross-boundary transactions.
Thank you very much. I know many Ugandans would want to deal with the taxes, not knowing that actually it's their responsibility to pay these taxes. Uganda belongs to some regional economic communities.
Yes.
We can, for instance, point out like the East African community. There is free sharing of information between countries that are members of the East African community. So there's no way you're going to do any business online in East Africa and the information is concealed.
Okay.
That information will readily be available and it will lead to you being taxed. So the best way to do it is pay the tax. There are very many other ways. For instance, away from the information sharing in the communities, like the East African communities, those economic blocs.
Yes.
There's also the IMF, the International Monetary Fund.
Yeah.
But there's also, you can regulate cross-border payments. As a government, regulate these cross-border payments, know when payments have been done, how much of these payments have been done, in which category, and then you can easily get this information.
It's very transparent.
Yes, it becomes very, very, very transparent. Okay. But also, you can choose to have agreements, information sharing agreements between countries. Okay. You can be like, between Uganda and this other particular country, we have an agreement about information about the payments.
Okay.
So you will easily follow up on these payments and easily follow up on the taxes. On the
taxes.
Yes, please.
You know, Sarah, I think, was it this year, early this year, or late last year, I saw a report that shocked me about Jumia. I'm not advertising for them, but they're important.
Yeah, but they're here.
They're very vocal in this.
Yes.
And the director for the African chapter was saying that he realized that it's not working out as expected, you know. And he's saying that the models of operation in Europe seem to be different in Africa. The way the African market responds to some of these new marketing models is quite way different from the Western world. How do you, in your passion, you're so advocating for this, how are we going to deal with this? Because it's an African problem now.
Yeah.
And from the very people that are actually giving this service to Africans are the ones saying this.
There's a lot of challenges in this. One, we are a developing economy. So we don't just embrace these things so fast.
Yes.
We take time, we analyze, we don't hurry.
We don't hurry
into this. And the government should take the initiative to really bring it upscale, so that the entrepreneurs here are able to understand this as fast as possible.
Okay.
You know, when a change comes, the moment you don't create this change or be part of this change can leave you behind.
Okay.
And you will struggle to get there.
Okay.
As Africans, I still struggling, but we shall get there.
Get there.
As long as we have the will.
Okay.
We shall get there.
We shall get there.
We don't need to take it so fast. I know, Jumia, when it says the expectations in Africa and then the expectations in Europe are way different, you can understand.
Yes.
The other is a developed economy. Ours is a developing economy.
Exactly.
But for sure we shall get there. It's about our attitude.
Okay.
If we have the will to get there, we shall. We shall do everything possible to get there.
To get there.
Yeah.
Now, as an entrepreneur, and you teach the students entrepreneurship skills, what are some of those innovative ways somebody can actually employ to be competitive when marketing in the online space? Because I believe the strategies in physical marketing might be a little bit, might differ a bit when we come now to online. What are those tips you can give these entrepreneurs on how best they can advertise online?
Now, one thing they need to know is that they have to be very knowledgeable in the digital economy.
Okay.
You don't know about this digital economy, you cannot jump there.
Okay.
Yes, you need to have fully fledged knowledge in ICT.
Oh, wait. Now, when you talk about ICT, do I need to have studied ICT? Do I need to have a degree in ICT? Because now that's what someone is thinking. Now they're getting scared.
No, not necessarily the degree in ICT. You could have studied your business management.
Okay.
But in your business management, you must have an element of understanding how these digital platforms operate. Because you're going to sell your products over there.
Okay.
Knowledge is key here. Attitude. Let's not keep into our comfort zones and be like, this is how it was and forever it shall be. No,
okay.
No. Things change and we cannot keep in that area. We need to have to see what is in the digital markets.
In the digital markets.
Yes, you don't need to run around doing the buying and the selling when it can actually be done, just like we used to do. Someone jumps on a bus from Kisoro
exactly.
in the morning,
Yeah.
comes to Kampala, goes to Chikubo to shop, and then travels back with a heavy luggage. But this online commerce, the electronic commerce, can easily help this man in Kisoro to stay in Kisoro, but get his products from here. It is about the attitude. It's about knowledge, knowing where and how to do these things.
To do these things.
Yes.
Now, working for an institution of higher learning, one of those outstanding in the country, what have you put in place to make sure that the students actually get this knowledge about the digital economy at that age?
You know, at higher institutions of learning, we run a curriculum.
Okay.
A curriculum that has a component of business programs.
Okay.
So we train students, our clients,
Yes.
and not only students actually, even entrepreneurs, those who come for improvement courses.
Also, okay, they come.
Yes, for skills improvement courses.
Okay.
If someone wants a skill in IT, he will be given that.
Okay.
If someone wants a skill in anything else, will be given that. So we run a curriculum that has business courses.
Okay.
But this curriculum is often updated. The curriculum we were running 5 years back is not the curriculum we are running today.
Yeah.
So we update it depending on the need.
Okay.
So that we are update with what we need to have. We also train educators. Educators like me. If I join this institution, and maybe there is some changes in technology that I don't know, I need this training. I want to give you an example. During COVID times, we were doing training online.
Okay.
You know, those Zoom classes.
The Zoom classes, yeah.
The Google Meet. We were not trained right from where we were trained how to use these
You hadn't
platforms.
been trained.
We had it.
Okay.
So we had to go down and train the educators, those who are going to train the students, to make sure that they are at par with this technology.
Okay.
You cannot just log onto Zoom and start teaching. No, you cannot.
Absolutely.
You need training for that. We also run workshops for these students and conferences and seminars for them around these particular things.
Understanding the digital economy.
Yes, because they need to know. They are at the forefront. Those who are in school, those who are in classes, they are at the forefront. They will take this information back. They will get these jobs actually. They are the people who will start helping those that cannot access these markets because they are in their comfort zone. Yes.
So they will become the trainers now to these other people.
Yes, they can even become the sellers of these other products, because you imagine me, Sarah, a farmer.
Yeah.
I'm busy planting my coffee in Chiegegwa. And after planting this coffee, I even don't know where to take this coffee.
To take it, yeah.
So what happens? There is this smart young man who studied this in Chiegegwa who can create an opportunity for all the Saras, the farmers in Chiegegwa who don't know what to do with this coffee next.
Yes.
And so he will create a platform, get all the coffee from us, sell it, create an online market, platform, sell these products, and for us, we shall stay in Chiegegwa enjoying our money.
Wow.
Yes.
That is a huge milestone in that regard. Now, Sarah, in trade, finance, and banking, much of the worry has been in regard to online fraud and data breach. How are these being addressed? Data protection now comes in. People are scared to give out their information because you need it. You need information from people.
We need information. Yes. One of the things we need to consider is about education on safety.
Safety.
The consumers need to know about how to safeguard
Okay.
their data.
Most especially like private
like in banking.
Yeah.
Let me use an example of banking.
Yeah.
We have passwords. We use passwords.
Yeah.
But many people may not necessarily know how to use these passwords.
I agree.
And I know of cases where people have been called and asked about these passwords. So what do? Go out, train them on how to manage their passwords at a personal level.
Okay.
We've received continuous messages, for instance, from banks that show that you shouldn't share your password with anyone.
Yes.
I think even on phones about the mobile money.
The mobile money.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't need to share your password with anyone. Yeah. Just know your password, use it. Don't show it to anyone. We have a lot of fraud. Fraudsters will call you and ask you, what is your password? And if you don't have this information, you can easily give it to them.
Give it to them.
That is one way how online fraud can be curbed.
Be dealt with.
But it is also, this passwording and all that education around that should be continuous. It shouldn't be one day. When I walk into the bank, they shouldn't tell me, have a password, don't share it. No. Even after 1 month, they should remind me.
That don't share your
Sarah,
password.
please don't share your what? Your password. It should be continuous because, we don't take these things, we don't internalize them at the same level. Yes.
Wow.
This is a password, and it is my password, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not knowing that actually someone is interested in this password and can easily take your stuff away, can easily divert your money, can easily empty your bank account. Yes. So we need to have consumer education around that. But also, we can collaborate with cybersecurity experts.
Cybersecurity, you've mentioned. And actually, we're in the cybersecurity awareness month.
I'm happy that that is happening because there are people who are trained to do that. And so they can easily help these institutions that are doing that kind of work to curb fraud. Yeah, to curb fraud.
Okay.
There are also law enforcing agencies, when you detect something, hand these people over to
the respective law enforcement.
Yes, so that they can handle. And I think the best of this is to have a serious backup.
A serious backup.
Yes. When you have this backup for your daughter, for your data,
for your data.
You can always refer to it.
Okay.
You can always go back. If anything happens around here, you can always go back to your back.
Okay.
That backup is very, very important. Yeah.
Very key. That is very important.
Yeah.
Data.
Yeah. Data.
Now, in your own observation, have the two ministries, that is ICT and Ministry of Trade, closely worked enough to support the digital market? Have you seen that real?
Yes, I think the two ministries have.
You think they have?
They have.
Okay.
They have, because if they hadn't, we wouldn't be knowing much about this. They are working tirelessly to make sure that we are there. When you look at the ICT and trade ministries, these people have policies that guide these ventures. For instance, in ICT, they have a policy that guides ICT development and digital market growth. They also, that is a 2014, there's a 2014 policy around that.
Okay, yes.
ICT also has an act, the 2011 Act on Electronic Transaction Act. This act facilitates electronic commerce. When you move around the country, you realize that we also have hubs, ICT hubs. Yes. And of late, there are many. There are many. So that is the support from the Ministry of ICT. And very many other services, because while you're carrying out these transactions, there are online portals that we use, even for government activities. They are online portals. So the Ministry of ICT has supported the trade online. But also, I think Ministry of Trade is also doing some good work.
Yes.
Through a number of initiatives, of course, we can see that Ministry of Trade has helped the manufacturers.
It has.
Yes, it does. And those who assemble products countrywide.
Yeah.
But also it has a trade enhancement project. I think they call it TRACE.
Trace. Okay.
You can find much more information about this TRACE on their website.
Okay.
They have the element of capacity building. This capacity building is in all areas, women, youth, you know. They have tried as much as possible to support the entrepreneur. Then when we talk about mobile money.
Mobile money.
Yes. You know, the payments, the easiest way of paying here for us is mobile money. Is mobile money. So the mobile money have regulations, although we still have fraudsters amidst this, but we have at least some regulations here and there that help us to deal with mobile money payments. Yes.
You know, taking a look at policies here, I was reading something in line with that roadmap, digital transformation roadmap, which was launched last year, and I saw that we scored big when it comes to policy advocacy, policies that advocate for ICT, you know, digitization, but we still have issues when it comes to implementation.
Yes.
Policies, those ones we can implement.
Good, very good policies.
Actually, Uganda has the best policies in the world.
On paper.
On paper, but implementation.
But we look, you know, everything has a starting point.
Yeah.
If you have a good policy on paper, you hope that at any one time, this will also affect the implementation. So we look forward to better. To better. It's better than not having this policy at all. We have this good policy. We look forward to a better implementation process. So it's now about our government to look upon these better policies, better implementation, and then we shall be good to go.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Now, there is this one before we wind this up. What do you think are some of the possible opportunities that are going to be, assuming 75% of the businesses currently have embraced e-commerce. What are the new job opportunities this sector might create?
Okay. We look forward to, of course, having much more. For instance, the online traders.
Online traders.
Yes, there are people who really don't own shops. They will not even own products.
Yeah.
But they will do the...
They're like brokers?
Yes, they will be like brokers, actually.
Linking the actual
the actual owner to the person who needs it, the customer, consumer, the final consumer of a product.
Yeah.
So it is going to create such jobs.
Okay.
But also, there are people who are going to be wise enough to know that actually maybe these people need internet. So go to a place far from set up your bureau and start that business.
Okay.
You know, long ago, we used to, I want to give an example
it's okay.
here.
It's very fine.
We used to buy airtime using those cards that we used to crash. Where are those cards now?
No more.
Gone. So the moment people realize that actually we don't need to move to points to pick bags of Irish. There's someone who can pick the bags of Irish, deliver them to somewhere where they can be delivered to the final consumers. The change is coming. We just need to keep abreast with what is happening, and then we shall be able to get there.
Interesting. Your last remark, Sarah, regarding embracing e-commerce for the industries.
Wow. I would like to say that Ugandans should get into this as fast as possible. We don't need to wait until things are far ahead of us and then we start running faster, yet we can't get there. We need to get there. Let's be there. Let's create this change. Let's build this change slowly. So that we can finally get the best out of it.
Wow. Interesting. And that is something Sarah has, the tip to the traders out there. The earlier, the better. You know, when we're studying theories of, I didn't intend to say it, but it came into my mind as I'm closing.
Okay.
Developments. Most of the new innovations that always came in, there were stages where we had early adapters. Then there is a stage where we have the early majority. Then we have the laggard stage. The laggard, that's when many people are adapting a trend, yet it's now not really. It's declining, or it's not as profitable as it used to be for the early adapters.
Yeah.
And I think for Uganda in e-commerce, I feel we are still on the early stage. So it's still on the early stages.
Yes.
So the people that are going to take that are going to pioneer this, I think they are going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, they are going to benefit heavily from this end.
From these ends.
Yes.
So if you're not yet onto these platforms, you're missing out a lot. And that also brings me to the end of today's edition of Smart Means Business, taking you from all the way. We kick-started from 7 a.m. I know today is a Friday. We're heading straight into the weekend. Like I always say, go back, strategize, think about what didn't go right this week, see how you can put it right the next week. Of course, go have fun, but responsibly. Till Monday, good morning.